Hello and welcome to Montessori Philosophy. I am Terry Welder and I will be your instructor for this course, and I will be doing a number of clips to introduce assignments from week to week and talk to you about some of our principles of Montessori philosophy, and to sometimes answer questions that came up the week before. But the basic structure of the course will be about 10 writings and a number of discussion thread subjects that you will be responding to as you're doing your reading. At the beginning of the course, you will have all your reading in place, and your instructions for writing will come every week, but you will have 2 weeks to finish each one, just so that we have the 10 writings finished by the end of the course. I want to give you an example of what we're going to do this first week, because you'll need some time to get going on the reading so that you can do your first formal writing after that. The discussion thread that Jody will talk to you about in a minute or two will be around a subject that is supplied to you each week. And for this week, we want to hear a little bit about how you came to be interested in doing this course. And I'm just going to give you an example from my own life about how that happened. I certainly didn't plan to be a Montessori teacher, although I've been involved with Montessori for nearly 40 years now. And I started out as an English teacher, but my wife was involved in teaching early childhood Montessori. And our school in Kalispell just got so busy that I somehow got into working more and more there. And as I was doing this, working as an aide essentially back in the 70s, I realized that this was the kind of education that I should have had as a young person. And all of a sudden I was getting my hands on materials, doing hands-on learning, and I discovered that that was my kind of intelligence. I learned so much more by doing that, and Montessori made so much sense to me. As I've worked through the years, I found that almost everyone who takes these courses discovers the same thing about themselves, that they would have done much better math, language, everything would have made more sense to them if they had started out in Montessori. That's the kind of information we want to hear from you in your discussion thread as we begin. And I will come back in a minute or two to tell you about your first writing assignment. You already have all your reading assignments in your syllabus. And I'd like to introduce Sally Welder, who is my wife, the reason that I got involved in this, and she can give you a little bit of an example about how she became involved and talk to you about the future segments of the course. Sally?
Well, hello, and I became involved in Montessori through my sisters. They were very interested, had started reading. I had started working in children's drama, and all of a sudden I thought, well, maybe I'll start a school, and I thought, well, I'll take this Montessori training, but it probably won't fit because I had a child development degree and I wasn't sure if it would fit with what I'd learned, but it would give me the structure I needed. And to make a long story short, I found that I didn't have to compromise anything that was being learned, because Maria Montessori herself, and you'll learn about her in these readings, was such a forward thinker. She was 100 years ahead of herself. And so we haven't had to compromise anything in moving forward with Montessori. You'll be doing some readings, and maybe however you found Montessori, it'll be so interesting for all of us to see how we came. But what you may know right now about Montessori would be maybe similar to this children's book, Our Peaceful Classroom. And each page, I like to read this with the adults, but each page is different, and it's art done by children, and this says, our teacher tells us that Montessori is the last name of a woman who loved children. Her first name was Maria, and she was born in Italy in 1870. Well, this is how you're starting. It's like a children's book. When you finish, if you stay through the Montessori teacher training, you will have become a transformational teacher. It will change every part of your life. You will be so excited with all that there is to learn. And it is exciting, and I've been excited about it for over 40 years. So I guess that would be an example.
Okay. Thank you, Sally. And I would like to introduce Jody Harms, who actually is the business manager and the technical facilitator for our teacher training program that we do here in Kalispell and in Boise, Idaho. And Jody's going to tell you a little bit about what to do if you are having some technical difficulties that Desire to Learn cannot handle because they don't pertain directly to the college, and how to do your discussion thread, and how to handle your writing assignments in the Dropbox, and anything else you'd like to tell you, Jody.
Hi, I'm Jody. Like Terry said, I work at the office of MMTEI, which is where the Montessori Credential Program is located. This class is open to anyone to take through the college, but it's also part of a larger program for Montessori credentialing. We have it arranged so that this class will be a series of discussions, readings, and written assignments, and it will be essentially the same routine from week to week. Discussions are very simple. Desire to Learn will prompt you to enter into a discussion area, and you will just be able to type in your part of the discussion. Written assignments can be written in a software program such as Word, and then put in the Dropbox. All the technical aspects of how to do this are part of Desire to Learn and would be addressed in the Desire to Learn tutorial. We grade all of our assignments based on a grading rubrics, which can be accessed in your syllabus.
Thank you, Jody. So, I will be responding to your discussion thread and jumping in, but that's mostly for you to work with and communicate with each other so that you're sharing experiences and questions. I will also be providing supplementary notes along the way that are not directly in your syllabus at this time, but they'll be coming to you in a timely manner, and they'll be released to meet your needs as we go along. Quick overview of the course. We are going to be beginning with simple matters about child development and building into some of the key Montessori philosophy concepts as we go along. Each week's reading will build on the week before, and all of those readings will help you because you'll be using ideas and concepts from your previous writings so that it will not become more difficult. It'll become easier as you go along. We'll begin with the discussion as you're beginning your readings each week. I will jump in and talk to you on the discussion thread as we go along. You will have a writing assignment of about 250 to 500 words every week. There'll be 10 altogether. And I am going to give you some guidelines on how to do those in a minute. But I want to just tell you to begin with, in the discussion assignment that you get each week, there will be a proposal, then you will submit initial thoughts about what's going on in the reading that you're going along. I'll respond to them, and then you'll begin to do the reading. You can read ahead because you have all your reading ahead, but will not have all the writing assignments in place at the beginning. Discussion will be assigned at the beginning of each week. You have 2 weeks to finish each reading or each writing, and I will try to respond to them in a timely manner so that you get them back before you start on the next paper. Some things that I want to tell you about the writing. I would like you to look at my suggestions and questions that are in the writing assignment that is given to you 2 weeks ahead of time, and either select a question there that makes a lot of sense to you or that you really would like to talk about, or you can spend about 1 paragraph answering each of the questions in there. It's really a suggestion for how to organize your discussion. And I will be able to tell from the quality of your writing about one topic or all the topics how well you have internalized information from that week. I want you to know that content is the most important thing. It needs to demonstrate that you really are understanding and that you are reading thoroughly. It may seem like a lot of reading, but you'll see that there's a lot of repetition in the reading, and sometimes the same chapters are assigned at a later date. Please, honestly, do keep your writing to between 250 and 500 words. Content is the most important, but given the amount of time that you have to read and to write, I expect things to be well edited, and I'm looking at the content, but I will be liberal in my scoring of the rubrics, and we'll discuss it as we go along and we can negotiate some things. Keep on reading ahead. You'll find that every concept does build upon the previous week's writing. In preparation for next week's reading, your assignment is already in the syllabus. It's about the historical overview of the Montessori method. The history of this is that students tend to want to put every detail about Montessori's life and the influences that she had in her life, the political and social situations that were going on in Italy or wherever else she was. Keep that to a minimum. Please select issues that seem the most meaningful to you. If you write well about that, I will understand how well you've internalized everything in that whole selection of questions or that paragraph of discussion that I give you for your writing assignment. And that's about all I have to say for this week. And feel free to contact me on the discussion thread, and I will get back to you as soon as I can. I will check the website every night during the course of the course. So, thank you.